All right, Sunday night, January 22, 2017. What do I have? 7 o'clock Denver time. All right, I'm going to run through Monday's earnings, just right through the charts quickly here. I did 4 hours worth of gab today, so I try to save some of my voice for tomorrow. What I have going on here is I'm sorting them by the quarter, 3 months here. All right, so in the beginning, these are all the stocks. The percent change for the quarter. So we have earnings coming out, Monday's earnings. Blah, blah, blah. At the bottom, the worst one is this TLK at 12.5%. What I'm looking for, since the market's at the high end of the extreme, I'm looking to go against the green, right? If this thing's been up 96% for the quarter, I'd probably go after the puts, right? That's the story here, you know. But what's in motion stays in motion, whatever. All right, so run through the charts real quick. Yes, all right. So lots of volume and stuff up here. $7, $8 stock. I'll pass on it. Okay, that's just look for an opportunity thing, you know. I mean, you gotta look at it this way. You know, you may be stuck sideways for another 3 years, so I'll pass on this one here. Let's see here. Here we have a runner going on here. These are logged charts too, so this angle of ascent is a little extreme. I don't know if the earnings come up before or after. It's a bank. Okay, banks have been weak on here, so. If it gets above R1 or whatever, I'd probably go after it, but more than likely I'll pass just due to the fact that we already all had a taste of banks with JP Morgan and stuff. So, you know, how many times can you play, you know, whack them all with the banks for right now? Pass on this one too. This on balance volume, these are weekly charts. You know, the bodies are in here, but this somewhat looks like a bull flag. You know, there's 40 of them here at least for earnings, so I'm definitely going to come across a few of them. Same type of deal. Here's another bank up. You know, it's not it hasn't done the vertical thing yet. So then you come into these that have done the vertical. Here's another bank. It's already moved. You know, the deal here is, you know, it's already moved. So I'll pass on that. There's still bodies in there. If it does spike up, I'd probably whack it. Zion, same type of deal. You know, it is somewhat of sideways type. It's the angle of ascent that really bothers me on these. They're not really stair-stepping. They are, like I said, these are logged charts. So when they're beginning to do the 70-degree thing, that's at a pretty good clip. Here's one, computer hardware, right? So this one did the sideways thing for months here, okay? And it basically spooked people out of it here. This unbalanced volume came out of it here, so. I'd lean that they'd probably come running back in here and then I'd whack it. All right, TBK, what do we have? Another bang on here. Just smack it. Well, okay, here's the story, right? So we're raising interest rates. Okay. And what happens if things stall out here? Like, I don't know, millions of people don't have another $30 a month to pay their mortgage. Executive order number, blah, blah, blah. So we're going to have a stall in housing because they're short $30 a month or whatever. So housing drops, banks are going to have to drop rates to compete, to get people to come in. So we're going to have to drop rates to whatever, quarter, half, 3/4, whatever, to equal out the $30 a month that Donald just kind of took out of the system. So bad juju in housing here for a little while. I'm going to say, though, that, you know, for the bestest of, you know, the situation is that we roll over in equities. They run back into U.S. debt, dropping rates, and then we get people to buy homes in the second quarter, that kind of thing. And then guess what? The government still gets to save the money. The marketplace took care of the credit, you know, for how big housing is to the economy. I wouldn't stop anybody from buying a home, kind of thing, right? A lot of other companies deal with housing too. Okay, same type of deal. Here's another financial. So, you know, just whack these over the head. Interest rates go the other way. You know, then all of a sudden things aren't so rosy. But we can raise rates in July, you know, September, October, whatever, depending upon how hot the economy gets, or doesn't. You know. This one up here, same type of, just whack these over the head. That's how I look at it. But I mean, JP Morgan was more than enough to tell you to whack these things. Some of these have already moved though. I mean, if they've already dropped, you know, $6, $8, you know, how much more, you know, is there left in here? You know, I'm looking for some fat bars with bodies. Here's one, a software company where it's a price at $5, $6. Yeah. I want to do that. Another one on here, but this one's already moved. You know, 46 to 38 now, or 43 to 38, and you want to short it. Here's pivot too, so it's right at it. The Bank of Hawaii. Now this one's interesting. This one's up here, and the bodies are in it. This one I'd probably come at it, but most of these will probably be in the morning. Oh, there's the Mexican peso. How am I doing over there? All right. I'll pass. But you can see here, like this fat bar in here, a lot of bodies. This is volume bars for the week, so a lot of bodies just strolled on in here. And then, of course, they're out, you know, 10, 12% on here. Same type of deal. Same, it's already rolled over, you know. But the bodies are still in there, so it's one of those that if there is a bounce in some of these here, you're going to have the people that got in up here going, whoopsie, and then get out of it. They're going to say they're going to be selling in any bounce here. I wrote about this, 3-4 weeks ago? You know, if we're all in the same boat, looking over the same side, you know, what happens if one obscure bank, you know, we'll say JP Morgan, rolls over, the whole sector should follow, right? Same type of deal. Lots of unbalanced volume. Prices are up here. What's this TRST? Yeah, let's whack it. It's a short term. Here we go. Halliburton. Oh, well, it's kind of stalling out here at last year's R2. Yeah, I guess if oil's going to roll over and go into the teens, I suppose Halliburton's going to have some issues. WWD, lots of bodies in there. It's already started rolling over though. So you understand where I'm coming from. You know, I'm looking for shorting opportunities against extended stocks at the high of the market. You know, everyone's going to buy the calls. Nobody's going to buy the puts. I'll buy the puts. That's the whole deal with options, right? You try to pay as little as possible. I thought it was to win. Yeah, whatever. All right. FDEF, monkey shines. Defiance Financial Corp. What? Okay, whatever. Beat this one into oblivion. No, why don't you just beat it to 26 here? If it loses 46, you know, because a lot, you know, you have that where if it fails up here, you know, when you have a sideways. Oh, I got British pound above 124. Here we go. Okay, so you have a sideways action here. When you have sideways, you're going to get a trend. Majority of the time, markets move sideways. All right, so it's either going to break out and go higher or go lower. So here it broke out, went up to 46, and came back down to 36. What is that, 25%? All right, now it tried the breakout thing again. Oh, if it comes back into the sideways, it gave it two times to get out of there, to try and get a trend, and couldn't do it. Well, how do you know it's not going to fall back down to S2 and chew up all these people here? You know, it's that kind of deal. Whatever this spot is here, yeah, here's S1. You know, if this FDEF, you know, if it can't hold pivot, what's that, 46? 45, 76, it can't hold this one. It'll probably come here, and then you're already 3/4, you know, it's lost it again. I don't know, try 28. Hey, what about a recession? That's not going to help banks. Wouldn't that be a funny one, huh? Everybody leaning, and it stalls. This one looks like a double top here. This Auburn, AUBN, Auburn National. Just whack it. Yes, that's a professional term. Whack 'em. Here's another one. They've already moved a couple of bucks. You know, $20 stock already moves down to what, 17. It's tough for me to whack it. These were all weeks ago here. So, all right, McDonald's stalled. If the dollar comes off, which it is right now, the currencies are running, we may get a follow through on McDonald's here. It's giving it a third shot to get through here. And in my video to subscribers, I talked about India and cows. Blasphemy. Yeah, I did. Well, you know, it all goes about having clam chowder on Friday in August. And for the subscribers, you get that joke. Okay, so blah, 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 McDonald's. Bigger red bars, these are volume bars, so there's a lot more selling going on here than these little itty bitty green bars that are buyers here. And for me, McDonald's will pass. Tell you a quick story here. I met a guy that was 28, and he'd worked at McDonald's for 10 years, and I was selling him a laptop. And, you know, he started at 18, you know, in high school, worked at McDonald's, now at 28, you know, a store manager kind of thing. But he was quitting. And why he was quitting was because he's taking his $250,000 worth of McDonald's stock. Yeah, this is back in the 90s when McDonald's was under 10 bucks. His $250,000 worth of McDonald's stock at age 28. Now let's start this all over again. This guy worked at McDonald's for 10 years, and now he has more money than what it cost for Lamborghini at that time. You betcha. That's right, folks. McDonald's. All right, so what he did, basically power washing. Since he was on the inside of McDonald's and they bring professional power washers in, just buy a bunch of power washers. He's already on the inside of McDonald's. He already knows how to bid the contracts, yada, yada, yada. Age 28, game over. You know? So it may be McDonald's and it may be 10 years, so you could either start a business or buy a Lamborghini. But not too much matching going on here at $130 a share compared to $9 back in the 90s kind of deal. What do we have? Snack food? Well, just whack them. We need a pullback. None of this running correction stuff. Just go and start whacking stuff. Pets. What? Pet Med Express. Remember, these are logged charts here. A lot of bodies in here. See, a lot of these, I just think they're going to come on down here. You know, that's kind of a hefty move there, Kev. That's like 66% drop. Well, whatever. Let me grab my 8-ball. Well, the magic 8-ball. There we go. Ew. All right, next one here. Yeah, LPL. What do we have here? Computer hardware. Not too many bodies in here, though. I'll kind of pass on this one here. It may swing up here to 18 and a half and that, you know. It came down underneath here. Now it's working its way up. You know, if it can swing through this 14 and a quarter deal, it may swing through and back up to 18's LPL. I'll pass this one here. Thai property. What's that say? NTP. I'll pass. RMD. What do we have going on here? We have one of those little tomato triangle type deals going on here. I'll pass. Anything above 72, it pokes its head up here, just whack it. We have earnings, right? That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, earnings. All right. If it sticks its head up here at like 72, just, you know, buy some puts for the next series for earnings. You know, UNC, I'll pass. One more page. See how quickly I'm running through this compared to the 250 of these I looked at last week. I'll pass on here. See, I don't really call these inverted head and shoulders for where it's at. It's on the way down, not the way up. And it's tried a bunch of times to get over this. I wonder if this has some warrants at $10. And then I get a bonus to run this to $10. Yeah, brokers. All right, Yahoo. All right, so the bodies aren't in here. I thought some sort of buyout deal was going to go on. I think I accidentally went to Yahoo for the first time since 1999. And I guess I don't have enough ad blockers, because for me to try and find something to read on there, a bit cluttered, but that's okay. I'm sure Yahoo is not set up for Mensa people. All right, so the Yahoo. Well, there are no bodies in this thing, so they just might as well walk it up. And I'll, just because it leaves a bad taste in my mouth, the website, I'll pass on it. It's kind of like before Walgreens got their act together, they'd advertise and you'd show up and nothing would be on the shelf. So you go a few more times and the same thing happens, and then you just quit going. Stop buying. All right, yeah, there are no bodies on an unbalanced volume, and they moved it up, you know, pretty nice from 26 up. But it just basically it has a brand, whatever product, you know. I'll pass. ELS, okay, so you have a decent run here. Okay, decent run. You know, just like I said, these are logged charts. You get this, it breaks the trend line, it's coming back up. You may have a situation where, you know, if you draw your trend line through, that this comes up and bangs on the back side of the trend line and comes down. These are REITs, so if we're getting a bounce in debt that we are, and we're getting stocks to come off, this, I'm looking at this is kind of like a bear market bounce possibility of a double top on here. Use the cloud for support, but I would take a defensive role on this ELS if I'm a person collecting 2.3%. It's just, you know, this is 2012, 13, 14, you know, I'll like I, you know, it's kind of like this. I'll leave you guys the last 3 to 5%. Okay, I'll go elsewhere, but I'd go over and whack this thing on. See if you can get some puts out there into, say, September kind of thing. I don't know what they are. But that's how any strength I'd kind of buy September puts on here. That's what I would do, you know. Because once we get past the pullback here of stocks and the running back into debt to drop rates, we'll go back to normalcy here. And you can see how well it liked the whole interest rate thing. See, here's June, July, peaked out, same type of deal. Interest rates go up till June. Interest rates go down until June or July, and then that's the end of that story. And then we're getting closer and closer to the recession. I'll pass on this one. So it makes me nauseous. PMBC. For those people who are listening to me, I should learn to do my color, since not everybody is in front of a computer. They're busy doing something else in the garage at 4:30 in the morning. You know who you are. All right, what do we have here? BOXC. Okay, unbalanced volume. The body's got out of this one because they've kind of tucked them out of it here. I'd take a look at it and see what we have for options, but I would actually lean on the long side on this one here, just due to the fact that unbalanced, it's flat, and they spooked themselves out of it from the drop from what, 24 to 18. Okay, so it's one. I don't know what the short interest is. You know, this is why I stick with commodities. Too much work on these things here. But I'd maybe lean on the long side here. Options? No options. Well, let's move on to the next one then. There we go. This is I'm taking as a secondary distribution here. When you go sideways, it's either a pause before trading higher. If it's on the downside, it's usually accumulation period. So accumulation, you go up, kind of, you know, pause area, continue on, you know, whatever, a harder run here. Now you have this stalled out fat bars compared to the relative thin ones on the way up. So they got out of it. It dropped on fat bars. And now we're doing the sideways thing. I think it's on a moving average or something. But I think this thing is just going to roll over this way. Silicon Motion Technology, ADS, blah, 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 blah. Options, yeah. What's that PE? 178? Now I guess it's the earnings are down the road. 2 million, so it's decent. Bodies are in this thing. Any strength on here, I'd probably whack it. But I like I said, I look at options as you walk into high stakes, you take your $100 bill, you shove it in the $100 machine, and you pull the handle once, and there you have it. We all played options. They either go to 0 or they go to 100, that kind of thing, right? So, you know, I prefer to sell options against long positions or write naked puts to get long. That's how I look at it. If I'm going to buy a falling knife, I'm going to sell puts so somebody pays me to buy them. But in this case here, in this SIMO, S-I-M-O, I'd play on the short side here. I think this sideways action is secondary distribution. Here's one, TLK. You know, it cracked, and now these are weeklies, so I think this is, to me, this is looking like it's working on a bear flag here. Bodies are in here. But that's how I lean here. The other way you can also look at it is this is a longer, you know, bull flag this way. But right now I just take it as it gave a try, didn't make it, lots of volume, tried to grunt again. You know, it's rolling into earnings and it couldn't, you know, it's beginning to make a series of lower lows. You know, one more time, then this thing's on its way to 20 back into this area. And that's it. So everyone have a wonderful Sunday evening. I'm on my way, blah, blah, blah. And then I'll see you guys tomorrow morning. Toodles.